So I think campaign planning for us was very critical. And part of it is that if you do not plan well, you cannot change the rules along the way. So everything has to be clarified at a higher level and strategic and tactical level. And we had clarified in terms of we're speaking to an individual. We want collective action, but we want individuals that have got agency coming together. Sure. And these are the individuals that we then had to segment and create messages for and platforms for that they have access to. And I think it is important when you are planning your campaign to know your audience, to plan well, and to know how you're going to speak to the different audiences. There's some that are going to need compelling research, technical research, and that's your government, that's your development partners, and they're going to access your social media in different ways on Twitter. They're going to be on TV, they're going to listen to talk shows and the like. But we also, within this campaign, there were two issues. We were trying to raise awareness and urgency amongst the citizens. So we also had to engage and be more appealing to the public. And it was COVID-19. There was so much thirst and hunger for news, hey? Yeah. So I think that propelled us in terms of our planning for each audience, the bespoke kind of package that we had to create for this campaign and to plan for this campaign in terms of people are looking for news. They are locked down because of COVID-19. They want music. They want TV, radio, talk shows. Those kind of, they are on Twitter, they're on social media, they're on Facebook, they're on Instagram, they are on Twitter, in all these spaces, TikTok and the like. So how are we going to invade those spaces for the different audiences that are in this? So we had to segment that for the youth, for women, for government, for development partners and the like. So you would realize we had simplified questions, we had simplified messages that were targeting at each of the individuals. So I think planning with your audience in mind is very critical. And I think for me, as you plan for your campaign, know that, and I think we have spoken about this a lot with TBJ and particularly with TC, that our campaign is mass communication, but it has to appeal to the individual. What is it? What's that audience at the individual level that we want to build onto? And it also had its own issues in terms of campaign planning and ensuring that you do not leave things, at the tail end of things. And it had to go through a lot of processing, a lot of blast furnacing, and it took looking even for nitpickers into the campaign when we were planning for it. We're so excited about this. We are Zimbabweans. We kind of know our experiences. We know our context. Like we've said, we've read our context. We are fighting for our loved ones. We are fighting for our own livelihoods in our own, lives and living conditions. But we had to look for the nitpicker kind of, for us in the planning and say, we have to subject this to someone. And we did this, and it was amazing, seeing our concept being shredded, seeing our billboards being shredded in one way or the other. And that had to be done by someone we believed was doing it from the right place. It was coming from the right spirit in the right place. And I think Jeremy managed to do that so well, TC, in terms of, yes, the fire concept. It can just catch like that and we're moving and we're going. But we had to invite some skepticism so that we could leave nothing to chance. We didn't want to leave anything to chance. So we'll put up a billboard, but maybe that's meaningless. That will not give us the answers and the questions, because the idea is about questions being answered. So we needed to invite that skepticism. We needed to invite that kind of doubt, that critical voice, that nitpicker into the campaign when we were planning for it, so that nothing was actually left to chance. And I think it helped us a lot in terms of navigating the whole process. Yeah.
Yeah, sure it did. I think having Jeremy as a sixth sense worked well for us. because when I look at it, they're concepts that was so uncomfortable about. And even though he was, we actually went on to run them because we believed in them so much. But the concept that he also raised, that I'm so uncomfortable with this, and we looked at them and say, but he makes sense. I think we need to adjust this. But also, once you get a nitpicker and someone, I like the word tearing through. Give someone your campaign and let them tear through all of it, and give you back the pieces, because then you can build them and have something that's more solid. One of the things that we were able to do in planning for this campaign was planning for it all the way to the end. And for me, a lived reality, as an example, is in 2018 I was doing work for a presidential candidate, and I say to him, we need to have a plan for what happens if we lose. That is not a conversation that we're happy to entertain. And it's sad for me because I would have thought that if we plan properly, we'd know what to do. So whether you then lose legitimately or otherwise, but once the word is that you've lost, you need to have a plan. And so what we did is to look at how do we plan this all to the end? How do we anticipate that everything may go wrong? And I think one of the things we discussed with Jay is around the Hillary Clinton campaign trail, where she was prepared for everything.